Okay, we'll try this again. Hi everyone, Colleen Patrick-Goudreau here, vegan author and animal advocate, and I hope you're all doing well. We had just a wonky connection there, so let me know if you can see this connection okay. If not, I'm just going to throw the phone off the rails. So, hi everyone. I was saying in the last video, it looks like we're better than last time. So this is my favorite time of year. I love the transition period from one year to the next. I do use it as an opportunity to reflect upon the prior year and to plan for the coming year. And it's a ritual I do every year, and I've roped my husband into as well. So he and I sit down, we look at what our intentions and goals were from the year before and see how we did, and then plan our intentions and goals for the following year. And I get really excited about it. So I've been sitting all morning. I've been up pretty early. I actually cleaned out our entire house from all the Christmas decorations. I usually do that on January 1st, but I just wanted to start and just get everything clean. It just was feeling cluttered, and I want to just wake up tomorrow morning and just kind of start the year anew. So first of all, you can go to joyfulvegan.com, get your Joyful Vegan Starter Guide. You can, of course, subscribe to my podcast, and I encourage you to do so. And we're still in the middle of that match. We have just a couple $100 more to go. If you're interested in helping me get that match before the year ends to support this work. So let me know where you're from before we get started, and I'll share my 5 things with you. You know, I talk all the time about how compassion is really the foundation of my work. It's everything that motivates me. It's everything that drives me to be vegan, to stay vegan, to do the work I do as an animal advocate and as an advocate for compassion. So really that's the foundation of everything I do, and that's really the message that I have in terms of how to bring in this new year with compassion. Hi Victoria, hi Angel, looks like it's good reception. Fantastic, is everybody else good? The reception's okay? It still seems a little wonky to me. It looks like I have a little bit of a delay. Do you guys think it's okay? Hi Jamie in Dublin. You're just down the road. Wait. Oh, Dublin, like California. I'm like, that's not close. Oh, I see. You did say Dublin, California. Awesome. Hi, Jamie. Awesome. Hello, Bristol, Connecticut. Hi, Janice. Victoria says it's perfect. Awesome. No delay. Good. Okay, fantastic. So it's just me. It's just me. We're going to leave in a little bit for a hike. So I just wanted to get all this out to you so that we can all kind of, thoughtfully, mindfully bring in this new year. Hi, Daniel from Atlanta. Good to see you, Daniel. And Anna from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Beverly Hills, Victoria. Hi, Victoria. Love it, love it, love it. Hi, Sherry. Happy New Year to you from Alberta, Canada. Very cold, minus 42 Celsius. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm not even gonna comment except to say there's a reason I live in California. I'm a total wuss when it comes to being cold. Okay, so here are my 5 thoughts, and you guys can certainly interject anything you have to say, or certainly continue to tell me where you're from if you just join us. The easiest way for me to kind of convey the intentions I have when I create my own goals is it's kind of around actions, it's around speech, it's around thoughts, it's around kind of what I put out and how I take in the world, what I put out to the world and how I take in the world. So the first thing I think of is compassionate action. So, there's a lot of things that we can do when we think about how we want to be, who we want to be, how we want to live compassionately. For me, being vegan is the most obvious way to manifest my compassion. It is for me the easiest way to manifest my compassion, and I'm really grateful for having discovered that there's a way to manifest my compassion in a way that reflects the kindness and the concern I have, the empathy I have for other animals, and of course for the people who are subjected to the inherent violence in killing animals day in and day out. So for me, being vegan is the most obvious thing. And so I'll just put that out to you as well, reflecting upon how we can take action that reflects compassion. And so for me, that also has to do with how I treat other people, how I treat myself, choices I make in the world. When people are looking and when nobody's looking, that's the hardest thing to do, is just be as consistent as possible. Hi, Michelle. Happy New Year. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Hi, Michael. Happy New Year. Billy, Happy New Year in Atlanta. I've got a few people from Atlanta. And Noelle, no worries, Sherry, you can watch this later, hopefully. Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you in Fort Lauderdale. I'm thankful for you as well. Yeah, and I'm also going to talk about gratitude. So that's part of the compassionate action for me is expressing gratitude. I have to say that that's one of the areas that isn't very challenging for me, because I am so grateful every second of the day for the life that I live, for the life that I have, for the life I've created, for the people in my life, for people like you, for the work that I do, for the animals in this world, and for all of the people who are living compassionately. So part of action for me is about gratitude, and it really is just something I kind of express in my head every single day. So maybe that also has to do with compassionate thoughts, which is another, the second, I would say, compassionate thoughts. I often talk about how we interact with the world around us doesn't start with how we talk to them. It actually starts with how we think about them and how we think about the world around us. So practicing compassionate thoughts is an endless journey. It will never end. I think some people are agreeing with me there. It really does start with how we think about things, and that's going to determine how we interact with the world and with people around us. If we feed thoughts that are negative, are judgmental, are lack compassion, then that's what's going to come out in our behavior. That's what's going to come out in our speech. So, however it works for you to practice compassionate thinking. For me, a lot of it is just a decision when I wake up in the morning, kind of how I want to be. Meditation also helps. I have a piece of hair like right in my eye line. Meditation certainly helps. And then also, just always checking in with myself and other people when I'm having conflicts with especially with others. That's really what this is. None of us are monks who live on, a mountain in China. Like, we're always interacting with the world, and we're always challenged by what we are confronted by. So making a decision to have compassionate thoughts about everyone around us is a decision, I think, for me, I have to make again and again and again. And then it also becomes easier because it becomes part of how it becomes the reflex we have. Hi, Marie Eve. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year, Rima. And Alan, Happy New Year. I know, I can't believe you guys are surviving in that cold. It's amazing. Angel says there was a wandering or dying bee slowly walking on the street in one spot outside our home. Using a leaf, I moved it to the nearby grassy area. I felt sorry for the bee. Well, that is just absolutely beautiful. And that's the kind of empathy that I'm talking about. It's just so beautiful to see that really small action, and that feeds us. Those kinds of behaviors feed us. The compassionate thoughts feed us. The more we have them, the more we want them, the more natural they become for us. So, I talk about this in the conference, in the Compassion in Action conference that I've done now 2 years in a row, and I'll be doing again in 2018, is that, compassion it's a decision to practice it. It is not a one-time thing. Even if you're vegan, that doesn't mean that you manifest compassion in every aspect of your lives. We're human beings. You continue to be human even though you're vegan, but I feel like I have a leg up because it's a decision I've made to live compassionately. However, it's still practice. And especially, like I said, it's easy to be compassionate with people who you agree with. It's easy to be compassionate toward animals because they're usually pretty awesome, and they make it really easy to receive compassion. Where it's challenging is being compassionate for people who you don't like, people who have challenged you, people who aren't kind to you, people who you have a history with, people who say mean things to you. I mean, that's really where the rubber meets the road in terms of compassion in my book is being compassionate towards people who don't display compassion themselves or for whom you have a challenging relationship. But compassion doesn't count if you're just compassionate to those who are compassionate back, or who are kind to you, or who you like. That's easy. It's really showing compassion for people who disagree with us, people who have different political views, people who live differently than we do, people who aren't vegan. I mean, that's really, for me, what compassion is about, is it being consistent. Hi, Lauren. You are very welcome, Lauren. Thank you so much. And Happy New Year to you, and peace and joy and love to you and yours as well. Hi, Dolly. Good to see you as always. Diane, you're very sweet. Thank you for all you do. You certainly directed my journey in a very profound way 2 years ago. You guys, I didn't get on this thinking I was going to cry, but you're already starting to make me cry. So I'm just going to move on to the third one. So compassionate action. I'm really sorry. I feel like there's this piece of hair like in my sight line that I can't get rid of. Number one is compassionate action. Number two is compassionate thinking. Number three is compassionate speech. And this is another one of those really challenging challenges, I think, for most of us. Now, there is, there are people who practice compassionate speech, and that manifests itself in different ways. Some people choose not to swear. Some people choose not to use profanity. That's not an issue for me. I actually really like swearing. You've just never heard me swear, but I really do like swearing. So that's not an issue where I feel like it conflicts with my values in my life. But where compassionate speech for me plays a huge role is in gossiping. I think all of us are tempted to gossip. All of us are tempted to say things about other people because, again, as humans, we kind of like to, always feel better than somebody else, always make it seem like we're better than someone else. And so one of the ways we can do that as human beings is by talking down, about someone else and kind of making them less than. And gossip is one way to do that. Judging is another way to do that. And it also means, like, when we're having conversations with people and they're gossiping, how to navigate that, which can be challenging, but there are ways to do it. And so that's another part of my compassion practice is compassionate speech. That's a big one. That's a big one for me. So compassionate action, compassionate thinking, compassionate speech. And then fourth is, again, as I said, it's also about how I take in the world. It's also just about kind of sometimes taking in the world in a compassionate way without judgment. And this all overlaps. It could also mean about, relate to compassionate thinking. But just kind of when things happen, just kind of first taking a moment and not reacting. And so that also has to do with self-compassion too, because I don't know about you, but I get, frustrated or flustered or reactive when certain things happen. So kind of how I take in the world and making a choice to do that with compassion is also something I'm mindful of. So kind of compassionate receiving, whether that's listening or not reacting, that also to me has to do with compassion. And then compassionate, shopping, compassionate, consuming in this world. I'm really excited. This is one of the stages, and I talk about what happens when you become vegan, right? The 10 stages of what happens when you stop eating animals. One of the stages I talk about is the expansion of behavior, the expansion of skills, the expansion of understanding. And I think one of the ways that manifests itself for people who are vegan is you start to see all the other ways that you can make improvements and all the other ways that you can reflect that compassion in other aspects of your life. So for me, I tend to be pretty mindful when it comes to shopping, but I'm not perfect. And one of the things that I'm looking to take on in 2018 is to really reduce my use of plastic, when I'm already someone I feel like has reduced it a lot, but making a goal like this makes it even more aspirational. And so even yesterday, David and I went out. We were just out and about up in Occidental, and we went to one of the cute little store, and there was this cute little it's actually really cute. It's called Poopery, and it's meant for bathrooms, and and it was really cute, and I like the scent. It was very citrusy, and I was like, oh, this is perfect for our little bathroom, for guests. And I was about to purchase it, and I went, oh no, it's made from plastic. Like, I don't want to do that. So I put it back and I didn't buy it. So there are so many ways once you start. It's like when you become vegan, you realize all the ways in which people are eating animals and how many animals are suffering and how much meat and dairy and eggs people eat. It's the same kind of thing when you make a decision to try and reduce your waste, try and reduce your consumption, try and reduce plastic. You realize all the ways in which you use plastic and where it's so prevalent in our society. So I'm getting on that bandwagon of wonderful people who are making an effort to reduce plastic in our lives. That's one example. But also, you know, just again, more around being a conscious consumer, you know, what are the effects of the things that I'm buying? Who am I supporting? You know, shopping locally, supporting local businesses. I mean, there's just so many ways we can do that. So huge aspirations. It sounds very big, but there's no other way to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish if we don't think big. We just have to be kind to ourselves if we don't succeed in every single thing we plan. So I think there are people who are a little cynical about New Year's resolutions. I don't like to call them resolutions just because I like the words intentions and goals, and I talk about that a lot, the difference between intentions and goals. And there are people who poo-poo creating these intentions and goals for the new year because people then fail and then feel bad about themselves. Well, you know, if we never make plans for improvement, then we're never going to actually succeed. So yeah, and you might not succeed in all of them, but then you just get up and make another plan. So that's kind of my philosophy, and I really love making these plans. So thanks, Anna. So those are my goals. Those are my thoughts. Those are kind of my my thinking when it comes to the way I want to live in this world and the way I want to be in this world. I've talked a lot about how I am a practicing human, and I certainly do things really there's always room for improvement. I am a practicing human and I am imperfect, and there's always a lot more to do. So those are my thoughts. If you have any thoughts before I head out, I just wanted to at least share those with you. I'm kind of going into 2018 with those thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say as well, but I hope that helps you. If not, it was just also helpful for me to express it myself. Ashley says, love from Maui. CPG made your falafel burgers last night. Love them. That's so awesome, Ashley. I have some left over this morning, and we're going to have them before we head out for a hike. And the only thing I wish we had was parsley in them, but they're really good, aren't they? I mean, they're really fantastic. And I make chickpeas all the time in my pressure cooker. We have chickpeas all the time, and sometimes I just put salt and some aioli or nutritional yeast or something on them, and that's fine. But it was really fun to make the burgers because they're super, super easy. And we had buns, which we never have in the house. So I love kind of figuring out what to make from what you have in the house. It's one of my favorite things to do because I'm just a total dork. Sandra Lee says, compassionate speech is so challenging for me. When I'm speaking my truth to someone who disagrees with me, it's difficult to present my ideas kindly. It is, I mean, that's part of this practice too, Sandra Lee, is presenting our ideas and not being attached to how someone's going to receive them. I mean, that's part of what this is as well, is expressing ourselves and then stepping back. I've talked a million times about how I love the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, which was written 2,000 years ago, and my favorite translation is Stephen Mitchell's translation. And there's one line in there, I'm not going to remember it exactly. How does it go? It's basically like, say what you want to say and then shut up. Like, just step back, do your work and step back. Now, that doesn't mean that's not to be translated or interpreted as like just kind of explode on someone and then just walk away. That's not what it means. But it does mean do your work and step back, express yourself. That's what it is. Express yourself and then be quiet. And that is a lot of that idea of letting go and just kind of letting things take their course. So however people react to what we say isn't really ours. It's not ours to worry about. It's not ours to be attached to. And so that's part of that practice of just letting things be and letting go. So express yourself, then be quiet, and the rest is not yours. So hopefully that will help a little bit. But there's so many gems in that book, and I can't recommend it highly enough. I give it as gifts to everybody. I just keep a pile and I just give them away to people. They just bring me so much comfort, and it's so full of wisdom. Marie Eve says, our 2017 New Year wish for Stony and I was to have the courage to align our actions with our values and to walk the talk. We practice compassion towards self, others, and all beings every day since. And we are finishing the year filled with gratitude and joy. The rest is getting cut off there, Marie Eve. I'll see it when I go onto my laptop, but that's absolutely beautiful. And I do think going into any year, any day, any moment with intentions is so helpful. So whether you do, you know, intentions and goals or resolutions for the new year, or you just do it from day to day. All of it matters. And just stepping into this new year, stepping through this threshold from 2017 to 2018, stepping into the threshold from Monday to Tuesday, whatever it is, going into each experience we have with intentions, and intentions for compassion, and intentions for joy, intentions for being the best we can be, and being the most compassionate we can be. I think for me, that's at least the highest standard that I could aspire to. And I love that that was your intention. And it sounds like we can all make that intention again for 2018. Michelle says, I love these goals. Happy New Year, Colleen, David, Charlie, and Michika. Michelle, you're so adorable. I just love seeing you. Thank you so much, Michelle. You're all so amazing. You're all making me cry. You really are. Hi, Stacy from San Diego. Happy New Year to you. Sandra, you're welcome. Michael says, just completed a nonviolent communication class. Would recommend if there's one offered locally. Marshall Rosenberg book available if there's no class. Yeah. The nonviolent communication work is really, really powerful. I've done it here and there. I've never taken a course, but I've practiced it in various ways, and I do recommend it if anyone's interested. Definitely is for advocates, for vegans, for staying joyful in this world of disagreement and divisiveness. Taking a nonviolent communication course or reading more on nonviolent communication, I highly recommend. And again, we're going to be talking about this in the 2018 Compassion in Action Conference. So give me a thumbs up if you are interested in any way, because I am planning on, I think it's going to be August. It's not going to be May. I know that for sure. So if you're interested, we're going to do it again in Oakland, Compassion in Action Conference, and we are going to be talking a lot about compassionate communication. Hello, Kim. Happy New Year, sweetie. Happy New Year. We were just in New Jersey. I'm sorry I wasn't able to see you, but it was a pretty crazy time being out there. But Happy New Year to you, and I hope you and your family are fabulously well. Happy New Year, Luciana from Italy. Jamie, and if someone wants to write this down so that people can see it in the comments, awesome. I'm glad you guys are interested. I'm really pleased at how much I think these conferences are helping people and guiding people and creating community and creating friendships, and I'm really thrilled. So it's the reason I'm willing to do this again. And we're going to do a 2-day conference this year. We did a 2-day conference the first year. We did a 1-day conference last year, and then we did the walking tour of animal protection history in Oakland. But this year we're going to do 2 full days again, and I think it's going to be great. So Jamie, if someone wants to write this down, it's called the Tao Te Ching. So T-A-O is the first word, T-E is the second word, and C-H-I-N-G is the third word. Lao Tzu, you'll see, is the alleged writer. L-A-O is the first, and then T-Z-U is the second. But Stephen Mitchell's translation is my favorite, and that's Stephen with a P-H. So highly, highly recommend it. Yeah, no worries, Anne. So the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is, to me, the perfect manual for living. One of my goals for 2018 is to actually memorize 10 passages. I've already memorized like 3, so I'm making my goal pretty small. But when I say passages, they're usually about 15 lines long. So memorizing more and more passages from the Tao Te Ching for me is one of my goals for 2018, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, the Tao Te Ching. Thanks, Anne. Hello, Cassie from Wales. Wales is on our list, Cassie. We're looking at possibly going to Wales in 2018. I'd love to hear your recommendations. And Stephen Mitchell translation. Awesome, Anne. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So let's see if I can remember one of the I'll see if I can remember one of the ones I memorized this week, and I will leave you with this thought. Let me think. Okay, so I might mess up. Let's see. Okay, so one of the passages goes thusly: fill your bowl to the brim, and it will spill. Many of these have become kind of maxims you would have heard over the years. Fill your bowl to the brim and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife and it will blunt. Chase after money and security and your heart will never unclench. Care about what people think and you will be their prisoner. Do your work and step back, the only path to serenity. So just filled with so much wisdom and things to hold on to throughout the day. There are so many times throughout the day that David and I will just quote something from the Tao Te Ching. One of my favorites is stop thinking and end your problems, because all of it is up here. All of it is. So may all of us start from up here and make the decision and have the intention to go into this next year, to go into the rest of this day with compassion and joy and empathy, and do our work and then step back. So everyone, I really do wish you a happy new year. If I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you soon. And thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of your compassion. Thank you for being fabulous and for participating and showing up. I'm very grateful for all of you. So for the animals, this is Colleen Patrick-Goudreau. Thank you for watching and Happy New Year.